Da, 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 da. What everybody think of last night? JDM has ruined the UFC with that win. You're correct. No, we're not going to see Ilya Islam. Heartbreaking, gut wrenching, and we're not seeing that fight. Let me watch. What everybody think of that last night? They're all cool takes. I agree with everything. I have a funny feeling a lot of people are gonna say JDM is gonna beat Islam. I think a lot of people are gonna say that now. No, I don't think we'll ever see Islam Makhachev Ilya Topuria now. Unless Islam is to lose to... If Islam loses to JDM, that's something like too. If Islam is to lose to JDM, I think we might see it. But as of right now, no. Yeah. I think they just strip Islam of the belt though. I like the double champ concept is cool. It's a cool thing to see. But it's not practical at all. It doesn't work. I think Ilya KOs Islam personally. The double champ thing's cool. It's just not practical at all. It doesn't work. It hasn't worked now. Islam's going to be no different. Once the fighter moves up to the division and wins the belt, they never go back down. So it's not going to be any different this time around. JDM didn't save the UFC. JDM cost us probably the best fight we'll ever see. JDM looked good in there, but JDM looked good. Yeah, Charles isn't going to submit Ilya Topuria, to be honest. Yeah, Charles versus Ilya is still a good matchup. JDM KOs Islam, he doesn't. Islam subs him inside 3. Islam isn't going to not grapple. No, I like JDM. As soon as the Bilal Muhammad JDM fight was announced, I was probably one of the first people on here to be saying JDM is going to beat Bilal Muhammad. I got slated for saying that way back then. A lot of people were kind of converting near the JDM Bilal Muhammad matchup. I've said it from day dot. I don't know when. I don't know. It all depends on can Hamzat fight in the US. I think that kind of decides where this is going to be. I think that decides where it's going to be. Who wins if Chandler and Benoit Saint Denis looks slow? Like, I would say Michael Chandler beats Benoit Saint Denis. Like, Benoit Saint Denis has really good forward pressure, and I think he can break a lot of fighters because he is just always on the front foot. See, if he had a high and tight guard, it would just be so much better, but he doesn't. He's just winging shots from the hips. Yeah, Aldo beat Zahavi, in my opinion, 2 rounds to 1. JDM sums your boy. I picked JDM to win. Before the fight even happened, I picked JDM to win when it was announced, and everyone was telling me, no, I'm wrong. Yeah, Bilal's lips bad. Nah, Charles gets stopped by Ilya inside 2 rounds. Kutalaba robbed. Close fight. The thing with the Bilal thing didn't make sense to me, right? Was like his corner were saying to him, like, "Oh, you're slower than him." Where was the urgency to be like the Bilal? You're especially after going into rounds 3, you're being outstruck by this guy. Take him down. There was none of that really at all, and it's exactly if you go and look at my predictions over on YouTube, I literally said Bilal Muhammad will fall in love with this Canelo hands narrative, and it will cost him against JDM, and that's exactly what happened. Yeah, Pantoja beat Islam. But he could take JDM down. We've seen it in the later half of the fight. I can't believe we're going to see Ilya Islam. Fuck! We had him down for longer than 10 seconds in round 5. Now, don't get me wrong, Bilal Muhammad held his own at points on the feet against JDM, but he was clearly losing. It's Islam's fault for ducking. Yeah, I suppose it kind of is. Let Sean Brady get the shot and fight Ilya. All right, yeah, I know what you mean now. He's ruined the UFC because we're not going to get Islam Ilya. Can people wake up here and see the bigger picture? Like, JDM striking so clean, but like, see some of the combos he was landing on Bilal. Insane. Yo, another thing I need to understand. How did Zahabi take that soccer kick to the face from Aldo? Insane. Why can't you get excited for JDM Islam? Is JDM Islam Ilya? Come on. Mate, I'm not going to be taking the I hate JDM narrative here. I like JDM. I picked him to win. No. Islam will move up to welterweight and never return to lightweight. That's facts. That's what happens with the double champ stuff all the time. The fighter gets the chance to go for double champ status. They move up to that weight class and they never return. Pereira and Goliath prediction. Thank you for the gifts, I mean. Pereira and Goliath prediction. Pereira, please. The fight wasn't boring. Like it was a good matchup. Have we been lied to, by the way, about the UFC's welterweight division? I think we've been conned to for years. Are you accepting people? Yeah, you did say about Aldo retiring. Yeah, what do you want to talk about? Does Buckley beat Islam? Need to see what Islam looks like at the welterweight division. Nor you. Some win for Paul Hughes. JDM ruining the UFC. Yeah, you can join if you want. Have you sent me a thing? Yeah, you have.
Hey man, why do you think JDM ruined the UFC?
Because we're not going to see Ilya versus Islam.
So that's not JDM's fault. That's Islam moving up a weight class because he doesn't want to fight a featherweight. JDM revived welterweight. Leon Edwards, he's
yeah, I don't want to hear all that. Do you think if JDM beats Islam, it's better back-to-back wins? Yeah, the guess was taking stuff too serious. Do you think JDM beat If JDM beats Islam, it's better back to back. Nah. What if Shavkat wasn't injured? Shavkat still would have lost to Bilal, I think. No, I think JDM beats him. Or sorry, I think Islam beats JDM. You look like JDM, man. Yo, I'm gonna take offense to that because of JDM's nose. Yo, see for the people saying L host. I let the guy join and he was trying to lecture me. Look, all I'm saying is I wanted to see Ilya Taporia versus Islam Makhachev. I'm not trying to say JDM quite literally has ruined the UFC. It's a matchup I want to see. I'm hardly going to put in the title. I'm so upset I'm not going to see Ilya versus Islam. It's not going to work. Shavkat doesn't deserve a title shot. I agree. I think you do Shavkat, Sean Brady. Cody Garbrandt. I don't think Cody Garbrandt's ever going to get near the title. Who wins, Brady or Shavkat? Depends. If Sean Brady can get him down, I think Brady beats him. Who should Gary and Buckley fight? Each other. If Buckley beats Usman, then have them fight each other. Who would win? I think Ilya would win. They should turn the flagship into an MMA boxing training base. Yeah, it'd be pretty cool if they done that, wouldn't it? Please explain how JDM in the UFC I just joined. Because I just want to see Ilya versus Islam. Now we're never going to see that fight. Unless JDM beats Islam. But then I think the fight loses its appeal a bit. But it's not. You can't say okay. But now the plans Ilya versus Islam 2026. Islam will move up to welterweight. He will never drop back down to lightweight if he wins the welterweight title. That's a fact. He will not drop back down. They won't allow Ilya to win the belt and then move right up to welterweight either. So it's done. The only way we see Ilya versus Islam now is if JDM somehow gets really badly injured and will be out forever, pretty much. And we find that out like tonight, and then they make Ilya versus Islam now. Every double champ says that, but it doesn't happen. Hybrid. Hybrid's a good gym. That's where I train out of. Do you rate Bahamontes and why? Yeah, I think he's tall, rangy, powerful, good striking, and he's good he's good offensively and defensively at grappling. And he's a submission threat off his back. Islam hasn't cleared out his division. Hard to say that about Ian Gary though when he lost the Shavkat. Yeah. Like Ilya Taporia's name on your resume is kind of like when Mayweather got Canelo. You know, whenever like Canelo was like nobody, well, it's actually different now. Actually, scrap that because everybody rates Ilya. So I'm just talking shit there. Scrap that. What's up, man? Let me guess, you're Scottish? No, I'm from Northern Ireland. Do you see Paul Hughes beating Paddy Pimblett? I'm going to be biased here, yes, but Paddy Pimblett's massive. But Paul Hughes is so good, in my opinion. The fact that the UFC didn't sign him is insane. JDM versus Buckley. Who wins? JDM. How has JDM ruined the UFC? We're not going to see Ilya versus Islam. That's why. We are not going to see the best matchup that can be made. Would Paul Hughes go to the UFC? I think he would now. Like, Islam has cleared the division, most lightweight defenses in history. Yeah, but you can hardly you can't not give Taporia credit for KO and Volk, but then give credit to Islam because there's scenarios for both things. Yes, he didn't take enough time after being KO'd by Islam, but he also took the fight on like a week's notice against Islam and wasn't prepared and got KO'd, where he's more prepared for the Taporia matchup. So you can't really use that. Yeah, signing Loughran's crazy. JDM will KO Islam back to lightweight. Atomics based. Yeah. But it looks like JDM is going to be like, I don't know how fast it'll heal for him, like, but he's got a load of swelling around his eye. Well, Ilya said ages ago he's not fighting for the interim title. So I think they're going to have to strip Islam. And it may like, don't get me wrong, Islam does deserve a shot at double champ status, but it's not practical. Strip him of the belt. The whole narrative of there's no more stars in the UFC is just a lie, in my opinion. Yeah, but Pantoja says he's not interested in moving up and fighting Merab. Yeah, but Volkanovski literally just got a call, flew to Abu Dhabi, got into the cage with basically no training camp behind him at all, and then got KO'd up a division. And then when he dropped back down to his actual division, he had more time to prepare for the Taporia one. So well, I don't know if it's arguably more impressive that Taporia KO'd him than Islam. Does Kai Car-France beat Pantoja? No. Sean O'Malley beats Merab. I think Sean O'Malley has the best chance of beating Merab right now, in my opinion. I think to beat Merab, you're going to have to stop him. And whether that be by submission or KO, and Sean O'Malley is the biggest puncher in the bantamweight division. He can knock out Merab and beat him. Now, JDM deserved the belt. Great performance from him. 100%. Well deserved. But we're not going to see Ilya versus Islam. Aldo won that fight 2 rounds to 1, in my opinion. Jan has. Jan doesn't have one shot KO power, though. O'Malley does. Yeah. Barcelos, nice wee 2-fight deal here. Peyton Tablet, then Cody Garbrandt. I actually am starting to think I should pick O'Malley to beat Merab, but I said O'Malley would beat him first time around by KO in the first round, and it didn't happen. But a part of me feels like that is the prediction I'm going to go for again. Best fight IQ at bantamweight. Do you know what? It's probably Merab. He's figured out the cheat code, constantly field takedowns, and just gash your opponent out. I've got Robert Whittaker beating RDR, especially over 5 rounds. I think that really favours him. He's too quick on the feet for RDR. And I think the jab's going to be money for Robert Whittaker in that fight. Yeah, and people forget as well. People forget, man. Sean O'Malley hurt Merab in round 5 and was keeping up with him. It's not as if, like, in other fights where we've seen people just completely drained. Sean O'Malley was still in it. And Ilya doesn't want to rematch a full camp. Volk doesn't want to defend. Volk had a full camp though. But Ilya didn't duck Volk. You can't say Ilya duck Volk when he's already fought him. It doesn't make sense. And Movzar's now only really established himself after that Aljamain Sterling win as the #1 contender. And the talks of Topuria moving up has been there for ages. Yeah, Sean O'Malley did. Give us Sean O'Malley. Give us Sean O'Malley, Peter Yan too. What are we wasting time for? Bilal, worst champ of all time. Bilal's not the worst. But he hasn't openly came. Topuria never said he wouldn't fight Volk. He didn't say that. Yeah, you could say he's up there, but so Sean Strickland as well. Sean O'Malley's fight style was just, or sorry, Sean Strickland's fight style was just a problem for what's happening, bro? Which is a problem for Adesanya. Thoughts on Fight Academy Ireland, and do you think it's up there with one of the best gyms in the world now? Yeah, Fight Academy Ireland's a really good gym. You've obviously got a lot of good fighters out of there, notably the two big ones, Paul Hughes and Reece McKee. But it's not like, no, this is the same mic, bro. Why is it shit or what's going on here? I know, but to say he doesn't want to rematch Volk though isn't. You can't say, oh, that's him ducking him. He's already fought Volkanovski. Can I see Reece McKee beating Edwards? No, I don't. But yes, Jamal Hill stepping in on short notice to fight Kelly Hill. Aldo's title run, Aldo's recent run in the UFC has been so wasted. Like, so Jonathan Martinez, Mario Batista, and then Zahabi. Why was it not Dominic Cruz, Umar Nurmagomedov, Henry Cejudo? Like, they do. Ian Gary, best Brazilian fighter around. I agree. Now, next title shot in featherweight is Evloev. You're just making excuses for Ilya. When Ilya was asked a bunch of times on podcasts why ask for Charles instead of Arman for #1 contender fight, he just kept saying, no, not Arman, I want Charles. Well, but yeah, he was saying, yeah, I know, but Arman Sarukian was literally told he's not fighting for the belt, and Ilya's whole thing is he's fighting for the title, and Arman's not going to fight for the belt next. So, and yeah, I am coping for Topuria, so what? Would you vote for McGregor? Does a bear shit in the woods? Evloev deserves the title shot. Yeah, Newhouse is coming on well, mate. I want to see a rematch between Conor and the bus. Step off the bus. He sat there and took a shit on the back of the bus. It's short in the bus's birthday. Yeah, imagine that. Islam, JDM in Perth. Can JDM right the wrongs of Volk? Who knows? No, I don't think they will. I don't think they'll. I don't think they'll stack that card, like as in like that way. The UFC have offered me contracts, mate. I've just said, look, listen, there's no point. I'd end up just signing to the UFC. I'd probably end up beating everybody in the same night, win the belt. And it's just, what's the point now, mate? You know what I mean? So I'd rather just stay here working my delivery driver job and just stay here on YouTube, mate. You know what I mean? Just to give people a life. Or yeah, Khabib. Do you want me to just smash up my entire setup asking questions like that? I suppose you probably have to have. You probably have to have Volk Evloev as the co-main event because does anybody give a fuck about that fight, really? I do. I want to see it, but have you had any more boxing fights? Nah. Look, had my first boxing fight in November, stopped him in the second round. I'm undefeated, like, so I'm up there with the greats like Mayweather. Do you know what I mean? So I'll maybe just hang up the gloves. People don't really like that because JDM won't do it. Yeah. Do you know what I don't get though? I don't understand how people can say, well, if Islam beats Taporia, he's only people are going to say he's only beat featherweights. Volkanovski, the greatest featherweight of all time, top 10 fighter of all time, arguably. Ilya Taporia, two of the best back-to-back wins in UFC history. Point for point, number two, in my opinion, right now in the UFC. Like, it's not as if he's just fighting like, let me see, Dan Ige. It's not like, oh my God, Dan Ige jumped up to the lightweight division. It's not that. Would you fight Islam one round for 100K? Abso-fucking-lutely. Thoughts on Connor running for president? S- I'm literally not going to say that. You think Elias subs Oliveira? Best grappler in middleweight, Hamzat or Bo Nickel? That's a difficult one. I'm probably going to say Darren Till. Would you rather get in a car with John Jones or a motorcycle ride with Ngannou? Probably the car with John Jones because I'm not going to die. Yeah, go ahead, mate. Take a look, take a look, take a look. Islam beats Hamzat. I would do, oh boy. No, man, I didn't see it. Yeah, Bilal was just stalling. Stall it then, pal. Let's wrestle. Armin Gaethje. Do you know what I think you do, right? And this right here is the UFC should take this. So you'll have Max Dustin main event of UFC 318 for the BMF title. Then in the co-main event, you'll have JD or not JDM. You'll have Justin Gaethje, Dan Hooker 5-round co-main event. Taporia knocks out Charles. What if you're in John Jones's car and he wants your butt? That probably the Ngannou, not probably, definitely the Ngannou motorcycle. Do you watch football? Like loosely, like I'm not like a diehard. Why do you look like JDM from Timu? None of that. Cut that shit out, boy. If Max wins and Ilya wins, maybe could you imagine Max Holloway, Ilya Taporia 2 at lightweight? That's amazing. Because we're not going to see Ilya Islam. Come on, people agree with me here. I'm not speaking rocket language. That's not even a thing. But like, I'm not on here speaking Korean. You all understand me. Did you see the Ngannou story, and what are your thoughts about what? Yeah, it's true about Kevin Holland. Nah, you know damn well Dana kissed JDM on the lips after that match. The motorcycle incident. I didn't even see. I just heard he ran some chick over. Did he? Yeah. I mean, the UFC needs someone else in the UK than Leon. Leon will never headline an event again, in my opinion. No. JDM is basically just Ilya but bigger. No, no, no. I won't take that disrespect here. Would you rather have to fight a 25-minute fight with Habib, no breaks, or have 5 minutes with Ngannou? Probably Habib. Because like you get choked out and then you wake up and you're kind of all right. Where if Ngannou knocks you out, like you know what I mean. My face is I'm probably gonna look like a fucking stroke victim after being hit by him. You know what I mean? Can you join? Leon Usman 4, who wins? Leon. Who is the best middleweight grappler? Bro, need to hear it. Who's the best? Obviously, Bo Nickel. What are we asking stupid questions for? You reckon Usman could beat JDM? No. Who's the next fighter to lose the belt? Good question. Juliana Pena. Man, I don't even know what it is your type of for me to be able to say it. Jones Aspinall is going to happen. It's going to be the main event to the first UFC Netflix card. And at men's, maybe DDP. You're actually so spot on. Yeah, man, my whole thing is, right, lightweight's going to be shit now because Islam's moving up. There's a load. What do you say? Can you please say? I don't even know what that. I don't know what that is, right? Anyway, so lightweight is ruined because Islam's moving up. We're gonna have Ilya versus Charles Oliveira, whether that be for interim. I don't know what it's gonna be for now. Islam's gonna move up to welterweight. We don't know when we're getting that matchup, so that stalls out that division that has a lot of contenders already coming up. Say they don't strip Islam. Islam wins the welterweight title, double champ. Islam is never moving back down to the lightweight division, which then kills that division and stalls it out for so much longer. Yeah. O'Malley wouldn't fight for a year, nobody would bat an eye. O'Malley's probably one of the more entertaining fighters to watch. Jones just accepted a gig. Yeah, I know I was saying that, so we're not going to get that fight for a while. Yeah, they'll all have to wait now. And it's not as if Islam is the most active fighter either. Maybe because he doesn't have such hard of a weight cut now, he might be more active, but why has JDM ruined the UFC? By him winning, it's fucked up two divisions. Although JDM looked good. I like JDM. But I wanted to see Ilya Islam. Look, see this narrative that I'm annoyed at JDM and I hate JDM and I want Bilal to win. Don't start that round here. Go back when the fight was announced. I was probably one of the only people saying that JDM was going to beat him. Me, early on, way early on. People chopped and changed near the end. Day dot, I was the one saying that. Bilal sucks though. If anything, Bilal ruined the weight class. Bilal's actually pretty good on the mic. It's just his accent's pretty annoying. I'm surprised who they're able to do John Jones, Nate Diaz, and like an Ultimate Fighter series thing that isn't anything to do with the UFC. Yeah, the fact though, yeah, bad time's gonna be creaming over this. Like, but the fact though that his corner didn't really try and like urge him on to grapple with JDM is insane to me, especially after round two. And JDM versus Islam is an interesting matchup. I just wanted to see Ilia Topuria versus Islam Makhachev. That was like the dream matchup. Keep Tom Aspinall, John Jones, keep Jones and Ganu, keep GSP Habib, keep all those matchups. Give me Ilya Islam. Just how bad was Leon then? Just how bad was Usman? Like the Usman reign as well. Like, have we been lied to about the welterweight division? I think we have. I think we've been conned. Opinion on Ben J MMA. Great guy, really dead on. I really like him. Speak to Ben J MMA, not all the time, but often enough. I like him. Really nice guy. Couldn't speak of him highlier, if that's even a word. Usman was good until his knees give out. What are the next few main events? Next week's Gilbert Burns, Michael Morales, isn't it? Gilbert Burns loses. Crazy Gilbert Burns might actually retire next week in the Apex. Yeah, he looked decent against Hamzat, in fairness. Yeah, Usman's losing streak isn't. Well, I suppose how shit's Leon. I can't believe I was saying shit like Leon's gonna be the greatest welterweight of all time. That might be the most idiotic take of all time. Not one of the worst robberies ever. Like 319 and 320 main events. We're gonna see DDP Hamzat on there, and we're gonna see. Volk Evloev, or no, Pantoja Kaikar France somewhere. Mate, I was one of them people saying Leon was going to beat Islam. Like, how fucking stupid am I? JDM would have stopped Leon, in my opinion. Look, ruin the UFC might be a bit far, right? But I needed to put something in it here for people to talk about. I'm hardly going to write this whole spiel about, well, JDM, I'm glad he won the belt, but we're not going to get Ilya versus Islam, but blah, blah. I needed a thing. JDM ruined the UFC. It's perfect. And I can explain. We're not going to get Ilya versus Islam. Also, two divisions are not going to be held up. The UFC fighters you just named would beat that gorilla, I think. Bilal put me to sleep. That was probably Bilal Muhammad's most entertaining matchup. I hope he does that. Like, I mean, when we get in our six Overwatch streams, I don't know if I'll do them again, mate. Not a lot of people like them streams. Um, what was I going to say there? I can't even remember what I was saying. JDM versus Sean Brady. Sean Brady has a good chance against JDM. Do you reckon though Jones is going out here to Russia? Or do they do it in Thailand? It's just a Russian show. Yeah, I think it is, right? Imagine he's going out there to train in preparation for the Tom Aspinall matchup. Maybe he wants to get like a bit of like some traditional Muay Thai stuff in, maybe. Any more graphic tees coming? Probably not, man. Probably not. Unless I was able to get like a fighter on board to make a t-shirt for them. But I feel like if I was to sell these, actually, like the more I think about it, if I was to sell these again, I could probably get sued, maybe. I don't know. Thoughts on Alfredo MMA? Again, another really nice guy. Yeah. Although I don't know, it's difficult. Like I just wish John Jones would just take the fight. Bro is media trained. I'm hardly gonna come on here and be like I hate them. I like them. They're nice people. They are nice people. Now I want to see Ian fight the winner of Usman Buckley. Who would win if Jones fought Aspinall? Tom Aspinall. Yeah, the disrespect Pantoja gets is honestly mind blowing. Get these guys on the prelims. Connor and Dana ruined the UFC, is my opinion. What the hell? But when did Islam step up last minute? He fought Moicano. He had a full camp at 311. So, what are you on about? Kai Fan stylistically gives Pantoja his toughest test to flyweight, in my opinion. Doesn't beat him, but do you know what the thing is, though, right? Like, I want to see Tom Aspinall fight again, but if they do Aspinall versus Gan now, and then eventually do Aspinall, John Jones, and Aspinall wins both of them, the heavyweight division's ruined. They literally need to do a Dana White contender series, or they just need to start doing an overhaul and just signing heavyweights on the regional scene that have decent records. Like, they need to do something like that. The heavyweight division's ass. No, I don't think so. Congrats on JDM. Tough fight to pick. Eileen Bilal, but it was a tough fight overall, Bilal. Yeah, Bilal has a chin on him. Two of Islam's last opponents backed out. No, they didn't. That's a lie. Armin pulled out, or Oliveira, but that was not is that they weren't the last two fights. He had a fight between Poirier in there as well. But like the UFC are hardly going to come up to Islam Makhachev, right? Who I think everybody can agree here right now is so much better than Moicano, and go here. Look, Armin's out. Moicano's willing to step in. Are you happy enough? We'll chuck an extra couple $100,000 your way. Oh yeah, no problem. Like, of course he's going to do that. JD Jones is ducking Big Ank. Nah. JDM doesn't have the star potential. Bilal being the champ was getting more attention just because of people hating or loving him so much. JDM can become a star though because of his fight style. I don't want to be a party pooper or anything, but I don't think JDM is getting a title defense in. I don't think so if he fights Islam. JDM is going to beat Islam, unfortunately. Not going to happen. No, I don't think Hamza could ragdoll him. Nina broke Armin. Yeah, that's true. When people are like John Jones can't be, but in your GOAT conversation because of steroids, I'm sure if you tested anybody that you have inside your top 10 throughout the different years, the amount of stuff they changed that's a performance enhancing drug to what's not and what they add on, everyone would have something. Everyone would have something. Now, don't get me wrong, Jones is a drug cheat and he's obviously not good at hiding it because he's been caught so many times. Bahamontes is going to finish Fiziev. Adesanya grew an extra tit. Aspinall versus Gan. I think you do Gan Pavlovich next. Let Gan piece up Pavlovich, get a nice win. So then everybody forgets about the Volkov thing. He didn't step. You're getting on like he stepped in a short notice. He didn't. He had a full training camp for both fights. He had a full training camp. That's insane. The argument against Islam is he hasn't fought. I'm more concerned about Islam's opponents. JDM didn't win UFC. He just beat a guy who wasn't ready. I've been ready. I've earned. Right, okay. I wished we didn't have a weight limit so we could see Eddie Hall. They probably should just remove the weight limit in the heavyweight weight class. Like, what the fuck are they cutting weight for anyway? Islam deserves to move up, yeah. Hey, Bilal, is it bad that a part of me thought that actually was Bilal Muhammad? Yeah, well, it makes sense for Michael Chandler to be in a number one contender fight. He is only on he's only on a 6-fight losing streak. Moicano had a full training camp too. I know who on here is going to say that Moicano is better than Islam. Moicano had a full training camp. He was on the card to fight Dariush. He was training for a southpaw grappler in Dariush. It was a late switch up of opponents. Like, man, I don't think Islam's going to let you suck it. Like, the more you keep trying to defend him, I appreciate it, but. Yeah, the UFC. Ngannou finessed the PFL something shocking. Like, fair play to Ngannou. Left the UFC as the champion, took the belt, went home, got the deal with the PFL, has fought once in the PFL against Renan Ferreira, done 10K buys, awful. They've paid him multi-millions there. He's went to boxing, had 2 boxing fights, had 1 fight with them, took their heavyweight title, and I don't even think we're going to see him again. Bilal was overhated. Yeah. The KO, the Anthony Joshua KO on Ngannou was crazy. Can I be honest though, and I'll be open and upfront here? I actually picked Ngannou to beat Anthony Joshua, which is embarrassing in its own right. But then I also said after AJ knocked out Ngannou that he would knock out Tyson Fury. Another horrendous take. Yeah. No, I thought Aldo won 2 rounds. Like, it's not just coping. You're saying you're getting on like Islam deserves to get all this credit for stepping up. He had a full camp. He had a full camp and he stepped in and fought Moicano, who, yes, also had a full camp. But is anyone going to sit here and be like, oh, Moicano was a really tough fight for Islam? No. And if you're going to say that, you're lying. What's the fight you want to see? Ilya Islam? No, it's not all. No, it's not going to happen. What's happening, bro? Thank you, mate. But are people? Am I? Are people understand what I'm saying here? Like, I understand that Moicano had a full training camp, but let's be honest. Like, everyone was picking Islam to win that. Like, they hate Aldo. He didn't get a thing. Yeah, Aldo's run in the UFC, his second run there, or third, or whatever you want to call it, was shit. It should have been Dominic Cruz, Umar Nurmagomedov, Henry Cejudo quits. JDM is more of a dangerous threat than Ilya. He's not. Yuri beats Hank. I could see it happening. Stipe got more personality than me. Maybe he does. We could. We could. I think that should happen. Islam can win, defend against Ilya at 155. It's not going to happen. Ilya or Islam will move up, and he'll never fight at lightweight again. Bilal's not the most boring champ, like. Yeah, but he's not going. Like, he's just not going to though. We've never seen now people come to double champ. Still doesn't change the fact that Moicano had a full training camp. It was a short notice fight for Moicano. But what is your point? I don't like. No one is denying that Islam. It was a switch of opponents between him and like. I don't get your point. You keep saying Moicano had a full training camp, so nobody was picking him to win. Like you're getting on like Islam Makhachev took a fight on short notice against like some world beater. He took it against fucking Moicano that everybody knew he was gonna beat. I don't get what your point is to this. Tony Ferguson to get a win because he's not in the UFC anymore, so he'll beat some like Khan outside of it. Shevchenko Whaley, yeah, that should be the fight to happen. Islam beats Orman. Pantoja will fight Kai Car France next. Jamal Hill's overrated though as well. But you called it short notice for Islam, so how can you say it's short notice for Islam but not Moicano? Doesn't make sense. It was the same notice for both guys. That doesn't. He has argued that Islam took a short notice replacement opponent against Moicano, then argued that it wasn't short notice for Moicano. They had the same notice. They both had full camps. What the fuck? What is this guy on about? Bilal would have been dominated by Shavkat if he fought that way. Nah. Shout out to Bilal. Remember the champ. Remember the title reign. GOAT. Legendary status. Exactly. Look, exactly, mate. That is my point. Who does Bilal fight now? Bilal will never fight for the title again. Yeah, I think Islam subs JDM inside 3 rounds. Do him. You can maybe. Well, I suppose he's injured. Like he has a cut lip and all, and a fractured orbital and broken nose or something. So Bilal will be out for a while. If Usman loses to Buckley and wants to stay around, Bilal Usman. Bilal, remember the title, Rain Muhammad. I think Aspinall in the second round. Nah, because I want to see Ian Gary versus Joaquin Buckley. Yeah. If Usman stays around, like, I don't know if he will or not. But yeah, Bilal will be done dirty here, I think. So I do. I think Pereira and Buckley would have a good fight. Boy, would do, oh boy. Yeah, Lopez versus Yair needs to happen. That should be an event in the UFC, not J card. I wanted to see Umar versus Umar Nurmagomedov will hold the bantamweight title at some point, but I wanted to see him versus Yan next. I'm new to the UFC, so be kind. Sorry, Logan. Sorry. Yeah. I think Islam subs him inside 3. Umar versus Yan. I think Yan would have beat Umar, to be honest. Now, I think Islam rear naked choke. JDM doesn't tap out. He passes out. Islam, welterweight champion. What do you think happens next at 185? Hamzat DDP. Pretty sure that both have kind of confirmed. Let me see. Did this go off? Let me see. Am I back? Am I back? I don't know what happened there. JDM's head movement, yeah, was awesome. We're back. Yeah, Aldo got robbed. How's JDM ruining the UFC? It's going to hold up 2 divisions now. We're not going to see Ilya versus Islam. Do I need to go on here, people? Come on. Yeah, I think it's a rear naked choke. I think he gets his back. I think JDM will start to scramble like a fish out of water, and then Islam will transition to his back. Whatever how. I think Ilya knocks out Islam, in my opinion. Yeah, I seen that. What does Holloway do if he beats Poirier? Fight for the title, in my opinion. He'd been on a 2-fight win streak in the UFC's lightweight division, beating Gaethje by KO, and say KOs or even beats Poirier by decision. I mean, hardest sub in your opinion? What do you mean, like hardest sub to get, or what looks the best, or what do you mean by that, bro? Nah, Bilal will never ever get into a title fight again. Hardest submission to get. In my opinion, anyway, I'm a white belt, like, so for me, a lot of submissions are hard to get. My favorite submission to get is a rear naked choke. Like, seeing if you've got the body triangle, you're squeezing in, and you're able to just sink the arm round. Yeah, awesome. Do you see Islam going the full way with Ilya? No, I think he gets KO'd inside 3 rounds. Yeah, Bilal and Shavkat, I don't even think we ever see that fight anyway. Twister. Yeah. I actually forgot about that submission. Shout out to Bryce Mitchell.